Okay, thank you very much.
Just to add on Howard's point.
Yes. I think the conversation is getting hotter.
I remember the time Yaz advertised for Youth Alive, advertised for volunteers with the time in my time, yeah.
Yes.
So they advertised in schools. So I was so excited. I remember that was the last day we were writing our last paper. And that was that, okay, per Monday mkaende kulima interviews, those that are interested. They even put a tag to say those that are interested. Mkaende kuyaz, ma offices, mkachite my interviews. They'll be picking volunteers. We went there in numbers. The queue was so long. We went there in numbers. I remember a lot of us were very, very interested to know what is that. We were trained. A lot of us were trained. I think should be 50 or something of us were trained. But today, not even just today, the same year we were trained, when we were told to come back after a break, and we were given what were called a period where we'll do for free, no commission, no what. So a lot of people left. Out of 50, I think in my group, only 15 or less than that remained. So you find the same way Howard has said, mismatched opportunities. They were having a certain perception to say, I'm going to do this work. After I do this work, this will come at the end of the day. Then they found out that they don't have passion for it. They can't manage to, I don't want to use the term facilitation or to do that or to stand in front of people. Some had stage fright. Others didn't manage to develop themselves, have self-confidence. So in that process of learning, they left. Okay. So yeah.
All right. We are live at Sunshine Studio. I'm with two volunteers, who is Georgina and Howard. We are talking about volunteerism, sharing their experience and just helping us understand the value of being a volunteer. You can drop your comment in that comment box and we'll read your comment. I can see Chembo online. There is Anthony saying the volume and clear. There is also Andy Idilonga. Those are the people that has reached out to us. Thank you very much for following the page. Let's keep the fire burning. You can send your views on the topic. It's free. We're going to read them out for you. So guys, this brings now to the point of we talked of the having the knowledge, people finding out after doing, like Georgina from saying, after rendering their services for free, since through Banzao, then they discovered and they failed to use creativity to just stick around to the organization and bring something new that they can do out of them giving services to the community. And they decided to leave. What advice would you give a person who wants to volunteer but doesn't have the knowledge on how to go about it?
Okay.
Anyone can pick it.
Okay, maybe my advice to the people out there, I think I most like taking it from this point of, or this quotation which Mother Teresa of Calcutta once said. He said, holiness is doing little things extraordinary. Meaning, you realize that when you're doing something out of enthusiasm or having that passion, it is an inner feeling that you have to give out. You lose nothing. So, it's high time that young people or the people out there volunteer, regardless of whatever is there or regardless of whatever is attached to whatever you're doing or your services you are rendering. Then, better off, just do it because you just need to do it. Not necessarily that it's a command or it's a mandate. Just do it because it's something within yourself. At the end of the day, you see the benefits of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our Georgina, what are some of the benefits that comes with volunteerism or being a volunteer? What are some of the benefits that you can...
Okay, before we look at the benefits, there are also contributing factors to why people are not volunteering. I think let me just look at that because I did ask some of my friends.
Yes.
I inboxed them to say, why is it that you guys don't want to volunteer? Because some of them laugh at me to say, you've been volunteering since 2019, like, yo, come on. So I asked some of them to say, okay, why don't you volunteer? And I had responses to say, it is costly. Okay, on the costly part, let me also say, because most of the time when I'm going for meetings, mama man pass transport to my auntie. You find that she gives me transport every time when I'm coming kuyas, and it also becomes a burden on the volunteer's part, because you're volunteering your services at the same time you're using your own money, you're using your own resources, you're getting things from home in order for you to render your services out there. So you find it's costly, and my friends are like, we see from you, Georgina, it's costly. Some of us won't manage, because I usually tell my friends to say we don't get anything from here. It's not because I'm hiding it from them if there's any commission or any money attached to it. No, it's because I want them to join because they want to join, and not because of anything around the project. So they tell me, no, it's costly. We see from you, you pay, like, you use transport almost every day when you're going for meetings, when you're going for facilitations. They even take you wakupelekako na kutalu uko kuma nonsense kushani wochoka kudambwa. So they say it's really costly out there. And this, yes, is true. When you're volunteering, you're going to use a lot of your own resources. Let me just make that clear. Your own resources. Don't even demand for more, because you are rendering your services. Hence, you are reducing on also what you have. Then the other thing that my friend told me is that it is not flexible. The schedule is not flexible in the terms that some are students, others they have other things to do. For example, like you have another attachment to your work. So you have work, you have your volunteering and stuff like that. So you really don't have time to balance, or you don't know how you can balance between the two. So uzapeza bambili swaza kwanza kucha balance, maybe na formal employment futa cha volunteer and something like that. And there is also a country in Africa, I've forgotten the name, banaleta system yakuti, if you are working, you're also a volunteer for a certain organization. The person who has employed you is supposed to give you a time of the week to do your volunteering work. So I don't know, it's not applicable in Zambia. It can't work everywhere. So this is why we don't have it here in Zambia. Then another thing is, the thing that my friend told me is the fact that they want to join, yes, but the problem is it is limited towards what they can't manage to do. So I think a lot of this is why it goes back to the sectors of volunteerism, the ones that we talked about when we began to say, first find your interest. After that, you can volunteer in the certain fields that you're interested in. So you find a lot of people don't really know about it. Yeah, so now coming to the benefits of you volunteering as a person. This is a modern world. This is a tech world. Volunteering helps you to build your brand as a person. As Mukumba Georgina, I'm building my own brand through Youth Alive Zambia. They'll say, okay, this person has been working for Youth Alive. This is her work ethic. This is what she can do and stuff like that. So you're branding yourself out there to say, if I can do this for free, I can also do something better when money is attached.
Howard, what do you have to say about that?
So maybe before I just enter into the benefits, or I say about the benefit, there's this also one thing which most of us, we tend out to hide, or maybe not to bring it out. There's what we call, let's call a spade a spade. In most times, you realize that these people are in the higher offices. Like, let me say, for example, these organizations or non-government organizations. The fact is that for an organization to run, which means that there's a donor attached, and you realize that these people, when you pay the office, you pay that ndrama wangaziba pasa, but how they allocate those monies, it becomes an issue whereby the person who is in the field, wana pezika acha anchito, sa paswa that much, whereby you even have the information, say these people, they're giving a lot of money. Because most people, they do communicate to us, they will tell us, no, it's a kunotima tengaso, manje mwatibwanji.
Just before you go very far, maybe I might lose the point there. I would ask this question to you, Howard. I'll give an example of where you are coming from. The Youth Alive organization is a voluntary organization, and that donor knows that I've got people who are volunteers. You understand? How we see it and how they see it where they are is different.
Yeah.
And maybe what they have is the little that can help the community with the help of a volunteer who is going to chip in and make the job that is heavy to be lighter. Okay, I'll give an example of I'm a donor. I fund money into a girl, Pad Girl, the campaign that is there. All I have, the money that I have, or the budget that I have, is to buy the pads and everything that the girls are using. Then I can't come from where I am to go and deliver all those things. I need a helper who's going to lighten up my job, and that is where now you falls in. Don't you think that's the angle that most of the donors they are focused on? Because they know that I'm going to a voluntary organization and I have volunteers that are giving themselves, according to the definition you've said, without expecting anything, without anything in return. Don't you think a donor, that's the angle that they focus their effort?
So, first and foremost, you realize that a volunteer is the third party in that line of the issues to do with the non-government organizations, because there's a donor and then there are people who are working in offices. They are paid for that, you see, because they have a certain qualification. So you come as a third person who is a volunteer and you are not paid. The virtue of you coming in there as a volunteer, it has nothing to do with an attachment which those people get paid. Now, here's a situation. Let me give an example. I did the public health. Then I go there, maybe let me say for you at Youth Alive, I'm working as a volunteer at Youth Alive. Then there's this person who is in the office, maybe has done business administration. Then me, I'm coming as a volunteer. I don't know the background of that person who is helping me or who is facilitating those programs, or the project manager. For him to be a project manager, or the whole logic there is they are saying, this is a non-government organization, meaning we need volunteers. But here's the situation. Look at the effort I'm making. Let's not run away from this. We are living in a world where we know that we have got needs, in as much as we may say it's volunteerism. You see.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Howard, thank you very much for all that views. I know Georgina is itching to to respond, but due to time, we'll just rush out into benefits. And I would say being a volunteer, like Georgina said, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because it puts you out there. It exposes you to a lot of things, knowledge, and give you everything that you need as a volunteer. But there's just one aspect that we should not neglect as young people, in as much as we want to go and volunteer. There is always a free time that you're supposed to hustle and make something for yourself. The problem with us young people of this generation, we are too reluctant. Georgina mentioned this point to say volunteerism is not a job. So you ought to have a job and create a space for your free time to explore other abilities that are in you that you don't know. By doing volunteerism, or to volunteer anywhere that you can volunteer in, any organization, any radio station, anywhere that you can go, just to stir up that passion of what you love doing. So it's about having a work and not taking volunteerism as a job.
And it's also understanding that you'll be overworked. First of all, you'll be overworked. But at the end of the day, you'll be getting peanuts.
Ono ine mundu abonoza tinizitira ira payadi maana. Nimuza konse kumakona muzitira ira mushangeko na kapinga. You understand? I would do that. That's how it is. Okay, so due to time, guys, we go direct into the benefits and what it can do to a person when they give themselves. I'll start with you, Georgina, then I'll come to Howard.
Okay, so in the same space of you being overworked, I think you are going to be impacted with that knowledge of saying, this is how I'm supposed to work when I'm given a lot of work. Because, for example, yes, you might have from Monday to Friday, you'll find you're volunteering your services. From Monday to Friday, you'll be in the field sometimes, it's not always, sometimes. So you'll find that you have a certain work culture that you're going to develop. So as a young person, volunteerism or volunteering your services, it's going to help you have or develop a certain hard work culture, because you're going to know, okay, time management and also managing your resources and stuff. So you're going to learn management, you're going to learn a lot of skills out of that. Then I can also proudly boast here to say my CV is just full of Youth Alive. Whenever I'm applying somewhere, yes, like I'm branding myself under years, because through volunteering I was trained as a psychosocial counselor, I was trained as an entrepreneur, I was trained as a first aider under HIV/AIDS and a peer educator. So that is on my CV. I've enriched my CV through volunteering through years, and I can proudly boast to say years is my CV. I can't say anything about that. And another thing, volunteering helps you to know how to communicate better with other people, because through you working with certain individuals that might be deemed to be hard to work with, you're going to know and develop a certain skill on how you're going to work with those people. Communication, you're going to improve your communication skills and also how to go about with work.
All right, so Howard, we are remaining with 5 minutes. Howard, what do you have to say? Yeah.
So, one of the benefits of volunteerism, one, it increases your social work. What do I mean? You find that you create this rapport with either young people. Let me give an example of myself. Like the way Georgina said, you brand yourself through volunteerism. A lot of people would want to work with you. And on top of that, you are building your good reputation. Because in most areas I've gone, today I'm much known because of Youth Alive.
Yeah.
You see, anywhere where I go, people call me sir. And then I ask myself, have I done teaching? I'm not even a teacher by qualification. That's also, it builds me and it helps me to grow in the sense that even in church areas, people, maybe in case they want to choose a leader, they would prefer to go for me because you normally do presentation in Youth Alive. So you can speak in front of people, you see. In all areas of life. Then the other thing is network. It creates network whereby everyone would want to work with you. You see, because you get connected to other areas. One day you'll be surprised. We've got people, even in Youth Alive, they are in the diaspora. Not in the name of maybe a parent had to maybe do some connection, but because they saw someone on TV, like the way we are here now live, other people are able to see what we are doing. And someone maybe when you want someone to work with, hence they will prefer to do it, to recommend you from Youth Alive. Yeah. Then the other thing is, it helps you to have enough time in the sense that you'll be able to give in your full potential energy without regardless of whatever is there, because everyone wants to work with you. So even you have that sacrifice to give in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. It has been an awesome show. I'm sure people out there have picked one or two things, even the benefit of volunteerism.
Yeah, we are volunteers.
They're volunteers, and they've volunteered, and they are online. You're able to stream and watch them. This is one of the benefits. One day, when their kids will be going through social media,